Why do we teach girls to shrink themselves?
We say to girls, you can have ambition, but not too much.
Why do we tell them to stay in their lane? Give me 2 minutes of your time because we need to talk. But first, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Sophie, born in 1994, and I grew up in the 90s. Okay, I guess I grew up in the zeros, when it was really normal for everyone to comment on each other's bodies.
If the body could just slim down 150 pounds, that would be good.
The only plus size model.
They had to do a lot of body work on you.
Wow, Bianca, you look really good too. Are you eating less or just barfing more?
Or is it still? I grew up hearing that you shouldn't take up too much space as a female. Not mentally, not with your dreams and your ambitions, but also definitely not physically. Be as thin as you possibly can. Be as small as you possibly can. And I'm tired of it. We are all tired of it. So I made a pact with myself, a mission to rewrite the narrative. I want to show you that it is okay to take up space. It is okay to take up space with your ambitions, with your goals, and with yourself. I want to show my younger self that it is okay to unapologetically be me. So this is my idea. Over the next couple of months, I'm going to share my fitness journey, my journey where I'll be focusing on gaining weight. Gaining weight to build strength, gaining weight to build muscle, gaining weight to take up space. And I'm going to show you everything, all the highs, all the lows, all the moments of doubt, all the moments of insecurities, which I'm sure they'll be happening. I'm going to show it all. Is day one of my bulking journey. I cannot believe that it is actually day one now. Day one is always a little bit exciting, also kind of, it's making me a little bit nervous, just because when you know that you are at the beginning of something that will push you outside of your comfort zone, obviously, because that's where you'll grow, you know that you have a journey ahead of you, and sometimes that is a little bit, I guess intimidating is the word, but I'm very excited for it and I'm ready for it. If you've been following along for a while now, then you know that I have done 2 bulks previously. The first one was, I think, like probably over 5 years ago. And I took it a little bit too far then, as in my goal with my bulk is to gain strength, build muscle in the most optimal way that I possibly can as someone who has been training with a structured program for years now. So I am in a surplus. I eat a little bit more than what my body needs to maintain in order to create an environment where you can build and grow, because there is so much energy available for your body. So putting myself in this surplus, what you basically want to do is find that sweet spot where you are gaining weight, but not too fast, where you just gain an excess amount of body fat and it's not going to building muscle or building strength. And I think I wasn't really able, or I was still finding my way in finding that sweet spot with my first bulk. And especially after a couple of months, I wasn't really gaining strength anymore, and I think that was probably a good time for me to then say, okay, this is the end of my first bulk, and now I'm going to transition into a cut. I didn't do it, I then went on for a couple of months even, so I did gain a little bit more body fat than I probably would want to have, because that made my cut after a little bit more intense, I would say. So to kind of save myself from those challenges, I took that lesson, that learning with my second bulk. I took that with me, and then I had my second bulk, and I started it, I think, 1.5 years ago, maybe 1 year ago, and that one was definitely more successful. It was, I appreciated the journey more, also because when you do something for the first time, you don't really know. Like, you have to trust the process, but you can't really rely on your own expectations because you haven't done it before. So sometimes trusting the process can then be a little bit more difficult. So with my second bulk, I knew that yes, I was gaining weight and I was looking less developed in a way, because obviously when you're gaining body fat, it is kind of covering your muscles. So at one point you'll look less developed maybe. But I knew that I was building and crafting my body underneath, I would almost say. So I just knew that I could rely on it, and that made my second bulk easier. I also stopped at a better spot, I would say, when I started noticing that I wasn't really gaining as easily anymore, when I wasn't really, it was just getting more difficult. That's when I stopped after a couple of months, and then I transitioned into my cut, as you maybe have seen. So I feel like third time around, that's your charm, right? So I'm very excited for this book and to see basically how far I can take it, and obviously take you along with me in this journey. So the first step, right, when you are starting your new journey is by establishing what you want to achieve, and then making sure that you find a program that is in line with what you want to achieve, right? That suits your journey and suits the process. So for me, I'm going to start the Hourglass program in my app, because my goal with this book is to build my legs mainly, my glutes, hamstrings. I feel like my upper body is definitely my stronger suit. I have really focused on building my upper body during my first bulk, and I still kind of benefit from it. Also, I really enjoy upper body workouts. It's very easy for me to decide to train my upper body, whereas with my legs, it's like, oh, do I really want to do a leg day today? I don't know, it's just because it's a little bit more challenging to me, right? So I really want to focus on building my legs, building my glutes and my hamstrings. And I also, there's a till. And I also want to focus on, well, creating that hourglass shape, which is why I want to do Hourglass, my program in my app. So hourglass shape, you have the top part of the hourglass, which is like the V shape. With the V shape, it helps if you build your shoulders, if you build your back, your lats specifically, because that creates that top part of the V. And then if you build your glutes, your hamstrings, your legs, then that will create the bottom part of the V. And since I'm kind of built like a ruler, I know that people don't like it when I say it, but I mean that I don't really have very wide hips. I also don't really have a very defined waist. I'm a little bit more straight like this. So for me, it really helps when I build my shoulders and I build my glutes, because then it makes it look like I have a defined waist, an hourglass shape. So Hourglass program is great for it. I'm going to start it, but little side note, I am that person that really wants to start week 1 on a Monday. So what I'll do, since it's Sunday today, I'll do an upper body workout from Hourglass. And then what I'll do is tomorrow I'll restart the program so that tomorrow is actually week 1. And then I can just do the leg day, because I know that the leg day is scheduled first. But I'll just go through the onboarding. I'll screen record it, pop it in here so you know exactly what I'm doing. You can see it. I mean, scoot to the side so I can just prop it here, but I'll go through the onboarding and then show you what I'm doing exactly. Okay, so the first question is, what is your main goal? As I said, it is to build my glutes while training my entire body, but focusing on my glutes. So that's what I'm picking. Then I'll press next. So it asks me how experienced I am with fitness. So the app actually has a lot of variations of the 3 main programs in the app, like in the back end. So as you could tell by the previous question, there are 3 main programs in the app. We have Hourglass, Transform, and then Hybrid. And then every program has 3 different levels. So we have a beginner split, an intermediate split, and an advanced split for every single program. And then based on your experience level, you'll also have a different style of periodization, different exercise selection. Like everything is looking completely different split even. Like it's just a very different program, as it should be. And then to me, the experienceness of fitness isn't just like how well are you able to perform exercises. It's also how long have you been training with a structured program? Because even if you are, for example, really experienced with performing exercises and you know how to do them with good form, if you haven't actually followed a structured program before, you can probably still benefit from doing, for example, the same program for longer. Whereas if you are someone who has been following a structured program for a while, then probably you'll have better experience when it changes a little bit more frequently, when the volume is a little bit higher. Like there are so many different variations or factors coming into play when it comes to workout programs, exercise selection, periodization style, experience level, like all that stuff. But for me, since I have been training with the structured program for a while, even though I kind of have been on and off since I was so busy with working on the app, I talk too much, I'll go for advanced. And then on which days do you want to work out? It's not the main issue because you can reschedule after in your profile section, but it does determine your split. So if I say here that I want to train 6 days a week, I will get a split that is for 6 days a week. So I can then rearrange the days, but it's the 6 days a week split that is chosen for me, if that makes sense. And the 4-day split looks completely different, as I said. For example, we'll go from an upper body split twice a week to maybe a push-pull leg split 4 6 times a week. Anyways, I'm doing 6 days. I'll just probably pop Wednesday as my rest day. But again, I can rearrange it, so that's what I'm doing. Then it is picking the right program for me. What I'll do is I'll do my warm-up. I'll do my warm-up sets for the first exercise, and then I'll see you for the first working set of the seated dumbbell Arnold press. Okay. So since that was my first working set, I actually did 6 reps. So the rep range is 6 to 8 reps. What you want to do is you want to pick a weight that allows you to do 8. You aim for 8, but then if you can't really do 8, it's okay if you do 6 or obviously 7. But you don't want to go above 8, you don't want to go below 6, but you also don't want to aim for 6. So I was able to do 6 with this weight, so it was a little bit too heavy for me actually. I probably should have gone with the 12 kgs instead of 14. Next exercise on the to-do list are chin-ups. And since we're doing 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps, I'm doing them assisted. I'm using contra weight. Instead of the seated lateral raise, I'm going to do the machine one, just because I feel that the machine is great for my muscle connection, and also it has less trap involvement and my traps tend to take over, and I don't want to focus on building my traps, but I rather want to focus on building my side delts. So I'm using the machine, and with the machine I like to sit reversed. It's getting dark, so I have to film with the lights on, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. So usually I prefer to train in the morning, but obviously sometimes life just gets in the way of training in the morning. I actually was here this morning, but then there were people like cleaning the glass, so I didn't want to film then, because I was like, that's a little awkward. Just me standing here with the camera and then also filming them. Like, I don't want to film other people. So yeah, I was like, I'll get back later. So that's why I'm here in the evening. But I prefer to train in the morning, actually. I have more energy. Sometimes I feel bloated when I train in the evening, which I don't really enjoy. And also I just get tired more easily. And it actually doesn't really help me with falling asleep, because I get this energy burst after my workout, which is not ideal when you train late and then you want to go to bed. So, but I mean, I still want to get my workout in. So we're doing the chest supported cable row now. I'm not actually doing the chest supported cable row. I love the chest supported cable row, but the bench is at the other end of the room, and then I have to like travel it here, whatever. I just have the cable row here, so I'm just doing that one instead, making sure that I keep my upper body still, because that's what the chest supported cable row is really great at. It obviously helps with minimizing your upper body momentum, and I'm more inclined to move my upper body with this exercise, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, especially as an advanced lifter, it is something that you can use to your advantage, but it is not something that is planned for this workouts, which is why I'm not doing it. So I'll just keep my upper body still and then do the cable row, still aiming for 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps. As you know, we're aiming for 8 reps. It's okay if we do 6. So that's what I'm doing now. Since we are doing an upper body workout, I want to focus on my lower back with the next exercise, which is the hyperextension. So as you have probably seen in my glute focus workouts, I love this one as well for a glute focus. It's a great hip hinge exercise. But in order to target your lower back, what you want to do is keep your back straight. Don't overextend your back at the top. Make sure that your spine stays neutral. Then you would lower yourself and then use your lower back muscles to lift yourself until you're in a straight line. That was the end of the first workout of my bulking journey, which is really exciting. I'll be doing a bit of a cool down and some stretches now, but I'll be ending the video here. So what I'll do next video, because it's currently no longer daylight, I'll do a physique update, kind of to establish the starting point of this journey for me. I'll also probably include some measurements. I think that would also be good, because obviously sometimes you see things different than what maybe the measurements are saying. So I think it would just be fun to basically establish where I'm currently at, and then we can see how I'm progressing over the next couple of months. Also in terms of weight, I'm currently weighing in at 56 kilograms. I'm not exactly sure what that is in pounds, but I'll let you know tomorrow, because I'm sure I'll still be 56 kilograms tomorrow. And then I'll just be sharing everything from my bulking journey, the highs, the lows, how I'm feeling, how I'm doing, how my strength is going. And I think it will be really interesting to take you guys along with me on this journey, mainly to show that it's okay to gain weight, how to do it in a healthy way, to decide as a female especially that it's okay if you want to build muscle, build strength, or if you just want to eat more and focus on training hard. So that's what we'll be doing in the next couple of months, and I'm taking you along with me. Okay, let's go.